This Dolan Beatz, and I just jumped off the porch with Dirty Glove Bashes, you little bitch.
Go ahead and go get a mink. Yeah. New finger ring sit like a sink. Yeah. You a bad bitch, then we can link. What? Hit the shower, you might stink.
Welcome to DGB, bro.
What's good, Mo? What's good with you, man? What's going on with you?
So you're originally from the DC area.
Yeah, like PG County too. You know, I ain't going like it's DMV is a whole collective. You know, it's just not just DC. It's DC, Maryland, Baltimore. You know, we try to include everybody. But I done been all around out through PG County too. So I fuck with PG real tough.
So you live in Atlanta now?
That's where I live at now.
How does DC compare to Atlanta?
DC is just well, Atlanta is more organized to me. You know, like of course I love my city, but at the same time, Atlanta is like everybody works together and the business goes along a lot smoother. And DC is like crabs in a barrel. You know, everybody against each other. Ain't nobody cool with each other. Like, you know, I just be looking at that shit like that shit's stupid. You know what I'm saying? Like, if everybody worked together, DC would be a lot further and be able to go a lot further than what it is right now.
So what type of kid were you growing up?
When I was a kid, I used to like cap guns and shit. You know what I'm saying? Cap guns and fireworks and music. You know, like my father used to, you know, have a system back in the day, so I used to like hear him listen to a lot of old music, like Too Short and like NWA and all the old shit. Probably like 94, 95 when I was real little, but I used to like bass and you know, that was just like I always liked bass since I was little, so that's really what kind of kid I was.
So your dad obviously had an influence on your passion. Did he play any instruments?
Well, nah, it wasn't even that he played instruments. It was just the music. Like my influence really came from my brother and my sister, for real, for real. Because my sister, probably in like 99 or 2000, she would listen to like Lil Kim, Biggie, and 50 Cent. But the 50 Cent before Get Rich or Die Trying, like the underground 50 Cent. And 3 6 Mafia. And then my other brother, my older brother, he would listen to like Devin the Dude, 3 6 Mafia too, but he'd have different CDs of it, and she would have, and you know, UGK, 8 Ball, MJG, you know, rap a lot, Scarface. So I was exposed to a lot of different, like, you know, different styles of music that helped me, and you know, like that's really what I go off of when I make beats today. It's that type of shit that they let me listen to.
So when did you start making beats and like how did you learn?
Cause when I was like, I think it was a song called "Sippin On Some Syrup" came out in like 2001. And when I heard that beat, I told my mother, like, man, I'm gonna make some beats. You know what I'm saying? I was like, shit, I'm gonna be a producer, man. I'm gonna be just like them. But I ain't know what the fuck I was doing, you know. So like around like, you know, when I got in high school and I was like 15, I downloaded a program and I used to like steal audio off the internet and try to piece things together. And that's kind of like where it started. So then, like, I think around the time when I was like 18, you know, a dude that I used to, you know, grab shit from, I just say that, you know what I'm saying? He ended up giving me a keyboard just for the fuck of it, and I hooked it up, downloaded FL, and I was probably like 19 around that time when I did that shit. And then I met Yung Gleesh like the next year, and that shit was like history, bro.
So what inspired you the most musically?
Um, 3 6 Mafia. You know, 3 6 Mafia, Shawty Red, Drummer Boy, Zaytoven. Um, you know, the rap a lot, the Memphis, the whole Memphis area. There's Tommy Wright and a lot of other people, you know. Like I'm Devin the Dude. There's so many different cadences I go for and different artists that I look up to that I try to emulate to give people a flavor of was, you know, give them something different because nowadays everybody's doing like the same shit. Everybody's riding the same wave, and I be trying to bring the wave from what I grew up on to, you know, and it always works. Like, you know, to me it always works. So
So you mentioned one of the first rappers you were working with was Yung Gleesh. How did you meet Gleesh?
I make, man, bruh, I met Yung Gleesh because in DC, like, I used to ride around, like, Northeast. My ex used to stay around. I had an ex-girlfriend or whatever. I used to stay down the street from where Fat Trail and the Slutty Boys used to stay at and shit. So I used to ride down there, and I used to have all these CDs and shit, you know. I'd be handing them out, like, you know, and I'd give them to a little sister and be like, man, when you see these niggas, you know what I'm saying? Give them these CDs. And then I would flood the emails of all the DMV rappers, but wasn't nobody fucking with me like that. And then one day, you know, I looked on Twitter and it said Yung Gleesh was with Fat Trail, like part of his little label or whatever. So I was like, damn, he knew. Let me try to fuck with him. You know what I'm saying? So then when I had contacted him and sent him some beats, he responded to me and he was like, man, I already done rapped off all your shit. Because he hadn't took my beats out of, I think it was Fat Trail's email. It was Fat Trail that let them go through the email and take beats that he didn't pick or whatever. So then, yeah, that's really how it started. And I sent him 20 beats, and them 20 beats was 20 beats he had already rapped off of. So he been looking for me anyway. So it was meant for me to run into him eventually. So that's what made the shit even like, you know what I mean? Made the shit like a coincidence, like, damn. So that's what made the connection real, you know what I'm saying? Real tough when we was fucking with each other.
You think it's safe to say after you started working with Gleesh, you was like, all right, I'm gonna take this shit serious?
Yeah, cause you know we shot like I've been around Gleesh around all his first videos and everything like from back in the day, from day one, you know, from watching all his tapes drop up into Clean Size Finest 3, and that was probably like the biggest impact I feel like as far as like on the generation today, you know what I mean? But a lot of people don't give him credit for that shit, you know, Booth. You know, or boofing. You know what I'm saying? Niggas don't know that's that DC shit, bro. But niggas be talking about they smoking booth or they talking about water or whatever, but they don't know that that's our shit for real, you know.
So what was your grinding process like? Like how many beats a day, how many hours a day? How long did it take for you to find that Dolan sound?
Really, it was just like you never can predict how creative you're gonna be every day sometimes, you know what I'm saying? But it got to like, even like right now, I'm at a point where if I'm not doing something with music every day, then I feel like something's wrong, you know what I'm saying? Like, I be having anxiety off of it, like, damn, I didn't do nothing today. But I feel like, you know, I was probably, when I was grinding and I was coming up, I was going through a lot of things, and that made me make way better beats. You know, a lot of the beats that a lot of people like me for are beats that when I was going through a lot of shit, you know what I'm saying? So, yeah, so it's like sometimes even today as a producer, like when I know people want that old sound from me or they want a certain sound from me, I gotta try to recreate that mind frame into my mind and travel back in time, you know what I'm saying? And try to recreate scenes in my mind and make that shit, you know, so I can get back in that mood. Like a lot of my beats are based on how I feel for real.
So when did you get your first big placement and who was it?
The first big placement was with Chief Keef. It was this beat called 12 Bars on Bang 2. That motherfucker crank like shit. Slim up trying to tell you, man, look up 12 Bars, you bitch. But 12 Bars though, that's like the beat that really got me in the game and shit. That was like a sample of Marvin Gaye, the end of a Marvin Gaye song, but I flipped it in a way where it would sound real dark, and you know what I'm saying? And that's really like how Lil Uzi knew about me, because I had one of his fans send me a video of Uzi listening to 12 Bars when he was a lot younger, so that shit fucked my head up. Of course, I saw the shit like last year, you know, so it's all too late. I mean, I already done, you know what I'm saying, linked up with him by then, but if I would have knew that back then, shit would have, you know, maybe I would have reached out to him a long time ago, like, but like, you know, nah, shit be fucked up, bro. You said what?
How'd you link up with Keith and how that happened?
Man, my manager, Will Hoops, you know what I'm saying, and Yung Gleesh, my man, you know what I'm saying. They basically went out to Chicago one time to shoot a video because Chief Keef liked DC, you know what I'm saying. Chief Keef came down in DC and fucked with us before out Northeast and shit. So one time my manager and Gleesh went out to Chicago and shit to shoot a video, and we had this song called "Which One You Working," and Chief Keef heard it, and he was like, "Oh, who made that beat?" Boom, and then he followed me because I remember, you know what I'm saying. I remember that day. It was like in August or some shit. You know what I'm saying? I saw Chief Keef follows you. I was like, oh shit, bitch. I was looking at man, what? I was looking at the bitch next to me like, bitch, you're fired. Fuck you talking about, bitch? I'm about to turn up. Like, I ain't even got time for none of this shit no more. Like, shit was just real fucked up. But bro, that shit was it, bro. And then I just started fucking with him ever since.
So what song came after 12 Bars? Because y'all niggas got a long catalog.
Man,
Okay, how excited were you overall? Because I know you said earlier you was excited, but at that time, Keith was like glowing up, you know what I'm saying, per se.
man, I was excited like shit, nigga. I left everything, nigga. I went to California. I was like, nigga, man, where you at? Nigga, I'm about to be there. Oh, you in LA? I'm about to be there. You know what I'm saying? So I just went out, pulled up to LA, and then I met him, you know what I'm saying? And I was staying with an engineer. I was at his spot. He was an engineer for Interscope and shit, Chris Chaney and shit, you know. So I was staying with him, but I was, you know, Sosa was just moving from Chicago to LA when he first moved to LA, you know what I'm saying? So at that time, I had ended up meeting Sosa like 2 days after I'd have been out there. And then that's when we did Dipset and Ketchup and, you know what I'm saying? Like all them dark ass songs, bro. But like I said, around them times, even the times when we was in the studio with Sosa, we used to be in that motherfucker fucked up, bro. Like, for real, like, niggas be off like all types of shit in that motherfucker. Niggas be on pills. Well, I wasn't on pills, but you know, niggas was fucking with Xannies. I was off the, you know what I'm saying, the lean and then liquor and then weed, and then that's how them beats was coming out real like dark and
Do you feel like when you under the influence, they help the sound more?
yeah. That's a bitch though, you know what I'm saying? I hate that, but in reality, that's true to me because I feel like sometimes when you drink or when you smoke or whatever the case may be, whatever releases that feeling in your brain, you know what I'm saying, it opens different ideas. And I mean, shit, nigga, I ain't about to try to experiment and try to, you know what I'm saying? Oh, let me get sober and make some beats. Like, fuck out of here, nigga. I'm about to do what I know is right, where I can maintain, as long as it's not having me out this motherfucker looking like, you know, like anything, then I'm good.
So can we, the fans, expect you and Keith to add on to your long catalog with new music?
Yeah, me and him talk all the time, man. We be in the DMs talking to each other and shit. I just got, you know, I'm supposed to fly out there and fuck with him and shit. But yeah, in the near future, yeah, we're gonna do something. Cause you know, a lot of people been wanting us to do shit, and like it's like to this day, I still got Chief Keef fans that DM me like, "Oh, you got this song?" Like they be playing me some shit I never even heard. You know what I'm saying? I be like, God damn, like. So it's definitely in the works. Like Sosa, I always fuck with Sosa.
What was it like working with hometown native Shabazz?
Man, Shabazz, that shit was lit. Cause, you know, I knew Shabazz when he was like about like 18, 17 or 18. I met him and Q the Fool at the same time, you know what I'm saying? They had came to my crib and shit. And even around them times, I was fucked up too, you know what I'm saying? Cause when they came to the crib, I ain't even had no Wi-Fi at that bitch. So they was like, how we gonna get the beats? And I was like, nigga, I'm gonna drive to McDonald's and get on the Wi-Fi. I would get on the Wi-Fi and send the shit to you, bro. But they was looking at me like, how we know? I'm like, nigga, I work with Chief Keef, bro. I'm Dolan Beatz, bro. I'm trying to like persuade them and shit. But yeah, bro. So working with, you know what I'm saying? Both of them niggas, like, I fuck with both of them, bro. You know, both of them niggas. Shabazz is my man, bro. Like a lot of niggas don't give him the credit that he deserves as far as like the flow. You know, a lot of niggas try to steal Q the Fool flow too. It's like a whole bunch of mini me's, many Q the Fools, many Shabazzes. You know what I'm saying? That's just running around all over the place, bro. Like,
So what was the experience like working on the collab tape Pressure with you and Shabazz?
Oh, it was good, bro. Cause we got, I just felt like we had like a lot of exposure to be able to get on World Star, and that made me feel like, oh damn, I'm really doing something. You know what I'm saying? Cause it's like a lot of people look at me, their perception of me is a lot higher than what it is, but at the same time, they look at me like, oh, you don't work with everybody. You know what I'm saying? But I'm still on the underground, and once you hit the ceiling when you're on the underground, you get bored of shit. And that's why a lot of my sounds are a little bit different from how they used to be. You know what I mean? Like that dark sound was cool, but I'm bringing it back. But it's like at the same time, that's not the sound that's gonna get me $1 million, bro. Like real shit.
You mentioned how you like working with the underground, and you currently brewing up a project with buzzing artist Slimesito. How did y'all link up?
Me and Slimesito linked up through a mutual individual named Almighty Red and shit. One day he was like, man, I got this young nigga that want to rap on your beats and shit. I wanted to know if I can give him some of your beats, because I be sending them beats and shit. And then next thing Slimesito DM me. And then when I finally moved to Atlanta, you know what I'm saying, I just ended up linking up with him. And then we would work together here, work together there. And then just like probably like 2 months ago, I just hollered at him. Was like, "Hey, bro, we should do a tape." And then, yeah, now we working on that shit. We already damn near done that motherfucker anyway.
When can we expect to see the project?
Probably like July. Probably like July or August. But that shit gonna be lit though.
Describe the moment you found out you'll be working with Lil Uzi.
Oh man, that shit was lit. Because by the time like when that what was it, Rich Forever, when that song came out, you know, that shit just came out of the blue. Niggas was just like, oh, shit, bro, Uzi rapped on your shit. I'm like, for real? Like, nigga, you bullshitting. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, nigga, you playing. So then I looked online, and I heard the beat, and I was like, damn, that's a beat that I did from like 2014? The Chief Keef, the Web beat. So I was like, damn, you know what I'm saying? That's back in the day. So I ended up just DMing him. And I made a post about him on Instagram. And as soon as I made the post, he replied to me. And then that's how we started talking and shit. And he texted me and just told me to start sending beats. And one of the beats was New Paddock. And that's how that shit. Shout out to Uzi, man.
What was it like working on New Patty? Like, describe that to me. Did you already have a beat made, or you had cooked it up fresh for him?
Man, fuck no, bro. I mean, like, when I was making New Paddock, I was having, like, producer block and shit. Like, I couldn't think of nothing. So I started listening to a lot of different anime soundtracks and shit. And then I just came across that soundtrack and I heard it and I was like, damn, like this motherfucker sounds good. You know what I'm saying? So I just snagged it and then, made a beat off of that shit. And that's how that shit came together. I just put my own twist to it and I put the piano on there and I put the Rhodes on there and a couple other, little instruments that I put in there to blend that shit together with the 808s. And that's how that shit came together, for real, for real. The biggest record I ever made in my motherfucking life.
That song went platinum. That was your first plaque, right? How did that feel?
Man, that shit, sometimes I still don't even try to believe it because I feel like I don't want to get comfortable. You know what I'm saying? Like to the point where like I don't really be as hungry. I still want to feel like I'm on the underground. Want to, you know what I'm saying? Try and grab whatever I can get and fuck with whoever. Well, not whoever, I don't just fuck with anybody, but you already know what I mean, bro. I ain't trying. I don't fuck with goofies, basically, you know what I'm saying? Like, a nigga that's a goofy, I don't fuck with him, but I fuck with a lot of underground artists.
Did you think it would be a hit after making the beat?
Yeah, I always know it's gonna be a hit. To me, just because of the beat sounds so different, it was like a lot different from what I usually make as far as production. Like, a lot of people expect a lot of, like, murder type. Like when I make beats, bro, they be expecting gunshots and all this crazy dark shit, or like some trap shit. But that was like a different side of me that I wanted to show people that I can venture into instead of just always doing some underground shit.
Can we expect something new with you and Uzi?
Yeah, most definitely. I always send Uzi shit. Like, all the time, bro. I always talk to bro. Like, that's my folks. That's like one of the first artists. I ain't gonna say no artist ever looked out for me, but he looked out for me a lot compared to a lot of other artists, though.
So who else you been working with recently?
Shit, man. I'm sending shit to Yachty. I'm sending shit to Cito. I got Shabazz, Q the Fool. I got motherfucking Key Glock. I fuck with him. Let me think, who else? Sending shit as far as like the Alamo, you know what I'm saying? And all the artists over there, Lil got it. I just met one of YFN Lucci's managers, so I'm sending shit over there. And then shit, it's a lot more, but it's just like I can't really disclose on that because even some of the names I mentioned, to me, like as a producer, like when you making beats, you can't always guarantee that your shit is gonna get placed. You might have a song. Artists, like when they make a song, like the public hears that shit so late. Like by the time that shit comes out, that's some shit they done did like a year ago. Like you wouldn't even know.
So how do you get out of beat block?
And I just get fucked up. For real, you know what I'm saying? When you get beat blocked, boy, you better stop tripping. You better fire that shit up, bitch. Fuck you talking about, you better drink something, whether it's liquor, water, whatever the fuck do it for you, you better, like, I feel like sometimes you gotta learn different ways to make beats, like whether it's sampling or there's different methods to making beats that you gotta explore that'll make you a better producer overall. So if you get beat blocked, you might just need to go to sleep, bitch.
So walk us through your creative process. Like when we finna make a beat with Dolan, what we doing first?
Man, first, man, we cracking the bottle. You know what I'm saying? We cracking the bottle, just goop, 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 goop. Take a couple sips. We're gonna roll up a backwood, roll it up, and then we might roll up another one just back up. You know what I'm saying? And then fire that shit up, and then just put the headphones on, and then we're gonna start with the hi-hats and the 808s. To me, that's how I start my shit, and then I blend everything in. I decide if I wanted to be really melodical or if I just wanted to be simple and just gutter, or it all depends on how I feel that day. If a motherfucker made me mad that day, then that beat's gonna come out mad as shit. I might got my dick sucked that day. That motherfucker gonna come out real, like it's gonna come out real nice, like So it all depends, bro. Like what mood they catch me in.
So it's safe to say you worked with a lot of these artists on their rise, like Keef, 21, Yachty, and so many more. How do you feel like you affected underground hip hop culture?
It's like I always feel like producers are like, the public is the fan of the rappers, and the rappers are the fans of producers. Kind of like they like our beats and shit like that. And I produce for a lot of people, but at the same time, I didn't produce for them at the time where it was like capitalizing. You know what I'm saying? It was really just me fucking with them, and then even with 21 Savage, my manager put me in contact with him for real, for real. That's how that situation came about. And then Yachty came about through like he had DM me on Twitter, and then told me he used to listen to like Yung Gleesh, and he fucked with my shit. So that's how I started working with him. But I just always tell producers just make good shit. If you got a good sound, it's gonna travel. And people are gonna hear about it, and people are gonna wanna. You're not gonna have to go reach out to somebody. They're gonna come find you because that's how it always happens for me.
So when you make beats, do you like play the keys or you like click in?
It all depends. Depends on how drunk I am. You know what I'm saying, or how high I am, bro. Like it be times like where sometimes I click in if it's something that's really like I'm playing and it's really I can't play it that fast as I wanted to. I click that shit in. But like the simple chord progressions and things like that, I just play that shit myself, just to get the shit started. right before I do the beat.
Anything else you want to add?
Shit. You can follow me on Instagram, you know what I'm saying? And if you don't fuck with me, suck my dick. You know, I hope you die, bitch. And yeah, suck my dick.
Bitch bag, on my green. And she said Lil Uzi so great. How you deal with all that hate? Shut up.